and we are glad in it. We thank the good Lord for his mercies. On behalf of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, I warmly welcome His Excellency the President and His Excellency the Vice President and all of you to the Commission this morning. Indeed, this is the very first time a sitting President of the Republic has visited the Commission to submit his nomination forms, and we deem it an honor to receive the forms personally from you. Mr. President, you are most welcome. This morning, we are gathered here to kickstart one of the most important activities in the lead up to the December 2020 presidential and parliamentary elections. Indeed, without this activity, the Commission cannot run the election. And here I'm referring to the filing of nominations by presidential candidates who are seeking to contest the 2020 presidential and parliamentary elections. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Regulation 7 of CI 127 enjoins a presidential candidate to complete and sign 4 copies of the nomination form. Additionally, the forms shall be signed by no less than 2 persons who are registered voters in the area of authority of each district assembly. The President is required to designate a person to serve as his or her Vice President. Furthermore, he or she is required to deliver the forms on a date agreed by the political parties and the Commission. Distinguished guests, as part of the Commission's efforts to ensure a transparent, credible, fair, and yet accountable process, the Commission has developed a detailed checklist that embodies the criteria to be satisfied by the presidential candidates as prescribed by law. The template will guide the scoring and awarding of marks by the teams established by the Commission, who would scrutinize and review each of the nomination forms submitted. This year, the Commission has established 2 teams who have been tasked to review all the forms submitted. The technical team has been tasked to scrutinize the forms submitted to ensure that the presidential candidates meet the criteria as set out in the law, namely that the presidential candidate is at least 40 years of age, that he or she has satisfied all tax obligations, and that he or she has nominated a vice presidential candidate, among others. The second team, that is the IT team, has been charged with the responsibility of scrutinizing all the voter ID cards of the presidential candidates and their supporters to verify whether the candidates and their supporters are indeed registered voters. Both teams have been provided adequate training and orientation to carry out their functions as prescribed by law. The guiding principle for both teams is clear. They are to operate within the confines of the law. They are not to exercise discretion in the matter. Above all, they've been tasked to be fair and yet firm in executing their duties. We have no doubt that the process will be transparent, fair, and peaceful. Additionally, we are confident that the 5-day period provided for the filing process, as opposed to the 2 days provided in previous nomination processes, will allow enough time for presidential candidates to correct any errors identified in their forms. We believe that this would help eliminate the tension and rancor that characterized previous nomination processes. Mr. President and Mr. Vice President, we welcome you warmly to the Electoral Commission of Ghana once again, and we thank you for coming personally to submit your nomination forms. As the returning officer of the presidential election, I now have the honor to receive your forms on behalf of the Commission.
First of all, thank you very much for this very expeditious process that I've been subjected to today. Running Mate and I represent a party that from its very inception in 1947 has been committed to democratic governance. We've been unwavering in our attention to democratic values and principles. So for us, the Ghana of today, the multi-party, open democratic system, is a matter that responds to our deepest convictions and values. The step that is being taken today is a necessary incident in democratic governance. We're counting on you to be the arbiter and to hold the scales even for all contestants. What the Ghanaian people are expecting is that the election of the 7th of December will be an election that is conducted in peace, in freedom, in security, and in transparency, so that the results of the election will reflect the will of the Ghanaian people. Elections are not meant to be decided by you or the officials that work for you. You are the referees of the contest. The election is supposed to be decided by the people of Ghana. And we're hoping that the arrangements that you have put in place will enable the Ghanaian people to manifest their will on the 7th of December and choose the next government of the Fourth Republic. So far, the work that you have done has given considerable confidence to the majority of people in our country. In you and in the leadership of the Electoral Commission, there are people who are committed to a free, fair, credible, and transparent process. We hope that that will mark the conduct of the elections of 7th of December. I am not interested in any crooked result. I do not want to be a president elected by deceit. I look forward to contests that will be fairly conducted, so that if indeed by the grace of the Almighty I am again the choice of the Ghanaian people, it will be one that is being freely and openly demonstrated. I want to thank you very much for the opportunity this morning, and all I pray for is that you will best man. Thank you very much indeed.